Hey, what is going on, guys? Spike Pete here, bringing you some more Titanfall gameplay. In the background here is a 93-point attrition match. I believe it is 8 pilot kills, 48 minion kills, 3 Titan kills, and I think I die 7 times. I'm not entirely sure. This is with the car SMG. This is a long stinking time ago. I think I played this match like a year ago when I first got the game on PC. But this is one of those matches, looking back, that I still remember it. It still gets me excited because I was so happy with this gameplay. I was so excited. I was freaking out. I'm like, holy crap, 93 attrition points. Then later, all my teammates had like 100, and it just was really depressing. But that is not what I'm talking about today. In today's episode, I want to have kind of a more intellectual commentary to start with. I have 3 points to go on that. And I have one point at the end that's going to be totally unrelated to the previous and the commentary part of this, but it is actually the reason that I chose this gameplay. So, getting into it, the topic of this video is seeing the world through other people's eyes. Now, my first point is the question of, can we actually do that? Can we actually, as people, as you, as an individual, could you look at the world through my eyes? And I say no. I don't think that it is possible for human beings to look at the world and see it through anyone else's eyes. Now, I do have reasons. I'm not just spitting out random opinions. So, my number one reason is the fact that we are very much so the nature versus nurture debate. Well, it's not really a debate anymore. It's more of a matter of to what extent does each one contribute. Now, I think that we are already pre-biased with the biological side of that debate of the nature, that we are biased to think a certain way. We are very biased and very much set on the way we want to think. This is the way we think, and we don't like to change that. And even you'll see this going through schooling, that basically the whole goal of school is to teach you different ways of thinking and to try to get you exposed to as many different people's opinions as they possibly can. But this is where you see a lot of students very rebellious, very much not wanting to have any part of this. They don't want their opinion to be changed. And this especially, you see this more and more the older you get, of people who are very stubborn, very old people who just refuse to, even if you have all the facts in the world. Like one older gentleman I know, he refuses to acknowledge the fact that newer cars that are designed to crumple are safer than the older cars that are designed to just be a brick. Now, no matter what the facts are, you can't change people's opinions with facts. And this is part of the reason why I don't think we can actually see the world through other people's eyes. Especially look at dogs, cats, all of your pets, the lower mammals, if you want to label them that way. We don't really try to see the world the way they see it. What we do instead, though, is we take and we look at their actions, and we try to analyze them by how we feel. How would you feel as a person about your dog jumping up on the counter and eating your whole pizza? Yes, my dog just did that. It's really annoying. But we assign our own emotions to it, and we don't think the fact that we have no proof that animals are even capable of half of those emotions. We just kind of assume, oh, we feel it, they must feel it. And I think this is where we can't actually see the world any differently than we already do. The way that you see the world is the way you see the world. And I can't possibly hope to fully see the world the way you do. Now, my second kind of question is, why would we want to see the world any differently? What good does it do me to see the world the way you see it? Now, I think that a lot of this comes down to the fact that we are very driven by what other people think of us. We really care about other people's opinions and how they think of us and how they feel about us. And this is oftentimes more important to us than what we actually feel about ourselves. Especially, you see this a lot now with all of the social media. You have people who don't really even care about their own opinion, their own beliefs that they used to have. Because social media has, oh, this is what everyone really likes. Oh, I gotta do that. I gotta be liked. Everyone's gotta like me and all this stuff. Of even people who are willing to compromise just because they got 10,000 likes on something that's so not related to how they feel. But because we are so obsessed with what other people think of us, we're willing to change like that. And I think that this also leads into the question of how does this affect survival? I think especially back years ago, you had guys, especially back when you had kings and queens and all that, of you had to be liked. You had to work and have people like you, and if they didn't, you were screwed. You were gonna die. And this is a huge part of it. I think the other part that goes into this is the survival of the fact of, no, I can totally see the world the way they do because this person is gonna kill me. Especially nowadays, you don't see it as much. This isn't as big of an issue with just everyday citizens. This is more of a police officer mentality of the fact that, no, I understand the way this guy works. When in actuality, you can't actually see into that guy's head, but you've seen him do enough things that you've built up a pattern, which humans are very patternistic. That's the whole reason why we do math. Math is nothing but patterns. Think about it. That's probably the most important subject that you see, that everyone in the world does math the same. It's because we're very patternistic. We see the world that way. And I think this is one of those things that we just build up that pattern, and we assume that because we can guess what they're going to do, that we actually understand them, when in actuality, that means nothing. Just because you know what someone's going to do doesn't mean that you understand why they're going to do it. We can guess, but I think that's really all this seeing the world through other people's eyes is us guessing at how they feel and what they're going to do. Now, my third point relating to this topic of seeing the world through someone else's eyes is, do we actually want to? Because so often, especially like some of my friends, who, if they aren't 4.0 students, they're really sneaking close to it. But so for their big end of the year project, they decided that they wanted to do this club. And their goal is very simple. They want to make at least one person smile in a day. Just, it doesn't matter what they have to do it. They're going to get that smile. They're trying to be positive influences on people's lives, especially in a time of the year where you're getting up to where it's not a very positive time of year. People are very down in the dumps and all that stuff. So they got pulled into the office for what they did is they took sticky notes and they put them all over the school with all these positive quotes, smile, be happy, all these just encouraging things. And they got pulled into the office and got yelled at during class, got pulled out of their class and yelled at for I think they were in there for like an hour. And I just think this is ridiculous that we have our priorities set on yelling at these good kids when there's so many bad ones out there. And what they did is they were yelling at them, they were arguing about what they did, and the teachers and administration pulled in other people to try to get them to agree with what they were saying. And when they didn't agree with them, they just ignored the fact that someone else agreed with the people against them, and that their ego was so big that they couldn't admit that they were wrong. And I think this is a huge part of why we can't see the world differently, is the fact that, quite frankly, we don't want to. We like the way we see the world, and we don't like to see other people challenge it. Now, finally, before I run out of time, I want to get into the fourth reason. By the way, if you have anything to say, comment it down below. Let me know what you guys think of this topic. Let me know your opinions, everything. Comment it down below. But getting into the unrelated topic of this video, and the reason I actually picked Titanfall for this gameplay, Firefly. Yes, the TV series. Back, I don't even know when it was made, years ago. But it is such a freaking awesome show. How did this get canceled with only 14 episodes? It doesn't make sense. It's such a good show. But I honestly, sitting here, especially when I was watching it, the first thing that came to my head is, wait a sec, this feels like Titanfall. Watching it, the guns look the same as Titanfall. They look very similar. This feels very much... Wait a sec, what's that? Does that music sound familiar? Very similar. I'm sitting there and I'm like, what is it about this genre that people don't like for some reason? Why is it that Titanfall was... I guess it was a flop. I loved it. This is probably one of my favorite video games out there. Honestly, this is up there with Star Wars Battlefront. But what is it about these things that apparently I must be one of the few people who thinks that it's so good? I think this is one of those where I really wish I could see the world through other people's eyes, because I really want to know why Firefly did not get more than one season. I want to know why this game on PC only has like 300 people on it right now. That's really sad to me. If you have Titanfall on PC, comment down below and let me know. I want to play with you. Well, anyways, I'm running out of time here at the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the gameplay. I hope you enjoyed the commentary. And if you haven't, go watch Firefly. See you guys later.